And we're back. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is a brand new video. I swear, on a brand new day in a brand new setting. Compared to my last video, I swear it's not. I just hit pause. I just hit stop and recording again. This one I want to do on my observations on what are the good job markets to be in, and how you can leverage your existing skill set to pivot into said job market or field or niche or whatever. So obviously right now, just to date myself, it is August 20th, 2025. The tech job market is just completely in the slumps. What else? Nursing is dying, pharmacy is dying, optometry is actually doing kind of okay. Medical school is a complete crapshoot. Let's see, what are the other ones? Finance is okay. Accounting is probably not the best field to be in, but it's stable and it's accessible. Yeah, a lot of professional fields, a lot of like professional, typical white collar fields right now aren't doing so hot. So that's, like a general observation across all industry standards right now. But with the negativity out of the way, let's talk about what is doing really well. From my observation, and I feel like I don't have to have this disclaimer, but this being on the internet, I'm going to add a disclaimer. The disclaimer being that this is just my opinion. It's based on very limited observation and very limited sample sizes, right? It's just what I have directly seen and experienced. I'm one person. There are millions of people in the US. I'm just one person from one company, in one field, working with a very small subset sample of people, right? So take what I say with a grain of salt. I would never want to really say, it's so loud, like in an underpass. I would never want to really come forward with anything as like a fact. Unless they are actual facts, right? Like statistics, numbers, backed by surveys and research, etc. So, anyways, right now, what I'm seeing a boom in is actually data attributable marketing. What does that mean? Or, I guess, let me introduce the business environment context for why I think that. For why I think there is this boom, and then let me also then talk about what it actually is and what that implies for you. So, basically, we're in like a golden age of data right now. Data is the new gold, is the new oil. You might have heard that before. Like, what does that even mean? Here's an example. Data is so powerful that there are a ton of fake businesses on job sites like Indeed and Monster and LinkedIn, putting up fake job listings, harvesting data, and then selling it. It's not a tinfoil hat theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. If you've ever applied on these websites, you know that you start getting crappy emails from all these recruiters and agencies and placement companies who are trying to scam you or trying to put you in a really shitty job. You're like, how'd you even get my email? How'd you get my contact? And if you ask them, they dodge the question. Yeah, it's pretty obvious what's going on there. So, data is very powerful. And we're at a crossroads right now, or not even a crossroads, we're at an intersection where we have machine learning, we have a lot of sophisticated data analytics, and then accessibility. Right, which is always going to be the biggest thing. In any sort of technological advancement, the accessibility is going to be what tips the scale typically. And then you have like a few years to kind of get in on the trend or try and leverage the novelty of the trend in some way. What does that mean? It means that previously, companies that wanted to have very, very robust, nuanced data tracking on their customer profiles would have to spend a lot of money to get that information. And why would they even want that information? It's so that they can customize and tailor everything to you, to your income, to your car, to your grocery preferences, to your hobbies, to your luxury spending, your subsistence spending, your everything spending, your color, your favorite color, how many pubes you have on your genitals, like everything. They want to know everything, because the more personalized they can get, the more likely you are to purchase. And I have a copywriting background, and the number one thing that was drilled into me from day one, over and over and over and over, is that if you sell to everyone, you sell to no one, right? Copywriting, or the art of salesmanship in print, again, and the key word here is salesmanship. Copywriting is a scalpel. It is not a cleaver. It is not a gun, right? It's very precise. Very precise. It's a laser, not a shotgun. You get the idea. And it's proven time and time again that the more specific you are, the more specific you are, the more and the more personalized you can get messaging and strategy and everything to the prospect, i.e. the person you're selling to, the more likely you are to get them to buy something and to get them to give you money. That's why data is so powerful, especially for companies that know how to leverage it. But we are now in an age where there are so many accessible, cheap tools that give you the data on your customers that was previously just like inaccessible, completely unattainable, too expensive to get. For example, there's this company, Claritas. They have some scary ass information, right? They can do some crazy things. They can get your email address, and then based on I don't know, obviously I don't have like the proprietary backend knowledge of how their platform works and what their methodology is like, but they just have a billion different databases, very reliable, highly sanitized, robust data. They take your email address, and then they can do what is called a reverse append, right? They take your email address, compare it against this database, they figure out your name, they figure out your physical address, they figure out your phone numbers. Whoa, the car in front of me is doing some crazy things. Brother, what are you doing? Jesus. They find your phone number, and then based on that, right, once they have that, then they can figure out like what your spending patterns are, what sort of income bracket you're in, and a bunch of other really, really crazy things, right? It just gets so granular. And guess how much it costs to do that for 700 people or 70 people? Guess how much it costs to do that for 70 people? It's $1,000. It's nothing to most businesses, right? $1,000 is not that much for a lot of businesses. It's pretty insane. It's just straight insanity. So that's what you can do. That's how accessible this sort of data is, and that's not even the craziest part either. That's like pretty tame, I would say. You can Microsoft has this tool called Clarity, and it's a completely free tool. You just install it on your web pages, and then it records your visitors' actions and their activity in their session. It records what they clicked, it records what they looked at, and then you can get heat maps and analyses on what your customers are likely to do on average. Like it just averages all of it, and it's free. It's a completely free tool. Like, how accessible is that? I think that's a really good example, because it wasn't that long ago where the software, the go-to software for that was actually not Microsoft Clarity. It was something called Hotjar or Lucky Orange, or I don't know. These companies have really weird names, but those were the go-tos just a couple years ago. It's 2025. In like 2023, the go-to was Hotjar for e-commerce, and Hotjar was I don't remember how much Hotjar was. I guess it doesn't really matter what the dollar value of Hotjar was, because Clarity is free. So why would you use Hotjar when Clarity does the exact same thing but for free? It's insane. And anyone can get access to this because it's just completely free. So if everyone has access to data, then what's the differentiator? It's how you utilize it. And I'm witnessing this trend where all of the marketing professionals that I work with, the best ones are data literate. They know how to use the data to make actionable decisions, right? And how to attribute data and how to attribute customer information. I think I'm in a bus lane on accident. Oh shit, this is bad. Oh no, that's the right turn only lane. I don't know what that was about. That was weird. Ain't that crazy? And that's the key here, right? What you do with the data. One of the worst companies I worked for, they were huge on data. Just like, we gotta get data on everything. We gotta track and attribute everything. I wanna know everything about the customer. And they never did anything with that data. What's the point? What's the point of accumulating all that data if you're not gonna do anything with it? And that's the difference. That's the nuance there, right? The marketing professional who's gonna get phased out by evolving technology is the professional who doesn't know anything about data, and who thinks that they don't need to know anything about data, which is false. Entirely false. Everything is data run these days, at least from what I'm seeing. And what something else I've noticed is that then that means that there are now emerging. Well, it's not like they didn't exist before, but they're becoming significantly more important now. All of the hybrid roles that kind of mixed marketing with tech. And what do I mean by this? We have this role, it's like an emergent role that's been around for a few years now. It's called the marketing technologist. And every job listing and description I've seen for the marketing technologist has no idea what they want from the marketing technologist. The marketing technologist, there's no consistency across companies, across job descriptions. We want someone who's good with ClickFunnels. We want someone who can build custom apps using like Node.js, and then front-end tools like front-end languages like JavaScript and HTML, CSS. But they also need to have expertise in object-oriented programming, or scripting languages like Lua or Python. Right? It's just like, it's all over the place. Like, we need a marketing technologist who's good at design, and that's it. We need a marketing technologist who is actually an expert in like systems admin. It's weird. It's a really weird role. But that's why it's such a good opportunity. Because if you have a tech background and you are able to relate it to something marketing relevant, you are a Martech. And if you are a Martech, you will find a job. Because right now, I see Martech postings all over the place. I saw one the other day that was like a starting role at $130,000 a year, and the stack proficiency it was looking for wasn't like lower level languages. Right? When you think of a tech professional, like a developer, right? And you think of their competencies, you think of languages, frameworks, just like whatever. Right? No. The competencies that Martechs are sought out for is platform familiarity, right? Software familiarity. If you know how to navigate new software and use new software, you can be a Martech. I'm not even kidding. ClickFunnels, familiarity with ClickFunnels, that's just a drag and drop web builder with some like conversion focused functionality built in. It's just for like maximizing sales. Go high level, pretty much the same thing, but it's also a CRM and a sales tool. HubSpot is the same thing. What else? Zapier. Zapier is a visual API / webhook / handshake / middleman tool that basically you tell Zapier, hey, when you get information from Google Sheets, make sure that you put it into HubSpot, right? All it does is bridge the communication barrier between different software. Zapier. And it's not, oh my goodness, some guy almost just died. And Zapier isn't like a complex tool. It's not like you have to create custom solutions. You're coding and you know how to you need to get familiar with all these webhooks and API. None of that. It's just Zapier has a native integration with like a billion different commonly used tools. You just pick it from a list. You look at what sort of payloads they have access to, and it's all like organized and very easy, very good UI UX. And you click, drag, connect. They have logic gates and conditionals that you can put into place. Like Like if Stripe product ID is XYZ, make sure to add to HubSpot and tag them as a user who bought XYZ. It's so easy. And the craziest thing is that Zapier's robustness isn't very high, which naturally limits the complexity of the zaps you can make, which then means that you don't have to do anything crazy complex with Zapier, because natively it won't let you. It's nuts. N8N is like an AI-powered version of Zapier with AI agent functionality and like controllability or whatever. Like, that's, if you know Zapier, you know N8N. And if you know ClickFunnels, you know High Level. If you know HubSpot, then you know all CRMs. If you know Klaviyo, you know all email marketing tools. It's what? Oh, do you know how to use UTMs properly? Great. Now you can be a Martech. It's honestly like just bonkers how easy all this can be to pick up, especially if you have a tech background. So if you're like a front-end developer, just like be a Martech with a specialty in funnel building. All right, pick up some design skills, pick up some front-end ability, like work on your front-end skills, and then boom, you're a Martech with a funnel building specialty. I've arrived at my destination. I'll continue this if I remember to. But the point is, if you have a data set, a data skill set, or a development skill set, a front-end skill set, back-end skill set, sysadmin skill set, IT skill set, you can pivot into marketing, and you will find jobs. It's that simple. I guess it's not that simple. A lot of these roles are emergent, so it's hard to know what you need to know. Like, it's not enough to just have the skill set. You need to supplement with all the marketing stuff. It's not complex or hard to pick up. It just might be kind of a lot, and it's a bit of a knowledge check. Because you don't know what you don't know, right? So if this is an interesting topic, I'll continue on it. But yeah, I gotta go. See you.